Good day, everyone. Today, we will be talking about marketing and R&D, two very crucial functions in any business. If you remember from chapter 13, we discussed the tension between cutting costs and adapting to local markets, a challenge that often increases expenses. This tension continues to be important as we explore marketing strategies. When a company follows a global marketing strategy, it treats consumers around the world as if they are they share similar tastes and preferences. This approach allows the company to mass produce standardized products, which lowers costs through economies of scale. However, if companies completely ignore differences in consumer preferences across countries, their strategy can easily fail. That's why international businesses face a key decision: when to standardize products and when to adapt them for local markets. Even if the product itself remains standardized, marketing strategies such as advertising or product positioning may still need to be customized to match the local cultures and preferences. In 2006, Ford started making its cars the same way for the whole world, and in 2009, it began using one marketing plan for all countries. This helped them save money by not making different cars or ads for every place. But Ford also knows that people in different countries have different likes and cultures. So, they let each country change the ads and messages a little to fit what the local customers like. So, why do we discuss marketing and R&D together? It's because they work hand in hand. Marketing's role is to identify customer needs and spot opportunities in the market. Then, R&D takes this information and develops new products to meet those needs. Marketing also guides R&D in deciding whether a product should be the same worldwide or adapted for local market. When marketing and R&D collaborate closely, new products are more likely to succeed. So, for our learning objective in chapter 18, we need to explain why it might make sense to vary the attributes of a product from country to country, recognize why and how a firm's distribution strategy might vary among countries, identify why and how advertising and promotional strategies might vary among countries, explain why and how a firm's pricing strategy might vary among countries, and lastly, describe how the globalization of the world economy is affecting new product development within the international business firms.
Good day, everyone. So, today we will be talking about a really interesting topic, the globalization of markets and brands. So, this concept actually comes from a famous Harvard Business Review article by Theodore Levitt. It basically talks about how technology is transforming the way companies market and sell their products around the world. But before that, let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand but still deep and connected to the real world. So, the idea of globalization of markets, according to Levitt, there's this powerful force, and that is technology. So, that's making the world more connected than even before. He said that technology has made communication, transportation, and travel that's super accessible for everyone. And because of that, people from different countries are now exposed to the same products, same ads, and same lifestyle. And this results in a new reality, what he calls global markets, meaning people around the world start wanting the same things. And because of that, companies can sell standardized products everywhere. So, for example, brands like McDonald's, Coca Cola, Levi's, Sony, and Revlon, they sell pretty much at the same time products across the globe. And for Levitt, this shows that national differences are disappearing. So if before companies needed to adjust their products per country, and that's what we call multinational corporations. Now they can act as if the world is one single market, becoming what he calls global corporations. But is Levitt actually right? Okay, that sounds is convincing, right? But not everyone agrees with Levitt. Many experts say that while globalization is happening, it's not that simple. For example, McDonald's may be global, but it still customizes its menu in every country. In the Middle East, they have the McArabia, and in France, they serve Croque McDo, and in the Philippines, we have Mac Spaghetti. So that means culture still matters. So even though global media like MTV or CNN make us share similar pop culture references, and our local tastes and preferences still play a big role. So yes, globalization is real, but standardizations has limits because cultural and economic differences still exist. Now, let's move to another key idea. It's market segmentation. So, market segmentation basically means dividing the market into different groups of consumers whose buying behaviors are different. We can segment by geography, like Asia versus Europe, demographics like age, gender, income, education, and etc. And social cultural factors like values, religion, and lifestyle. And the last one is psychological factors, personality or motivation. So each group behaves differently when buying. So companies adjust their marketing mix for each one. For example, Toyota uses Lexus for high-income consumers and Corolla for entry-level buyers. So in international business, marketers must be aware that segmentation varies from country to country, like in China. There's a market segment of older people who live through the Cultural Revolution. They are very price sensitive and not open to new products. So a company entering China should adapt to that. But sometimes there are segments that transcend national borders. So, like the global yacht segment, because of global media, teens from 26 countries, according to one study, share very similar values and lifestyles. So, brands can actually use the same marketing strategy for them. So, because their preferences are globally aligned. So let's talk about the last concept, which is product attributes. A product isn't just an item, but it's a bundle of attributes. For example, a car includes design, power, quality, and comfort, or a burger includes taste, textures, and size, or a hotel includes atmosphere, service, and comfort. So the idea is simple. Products sell well when their attributes match what consumers want. So but there's the challenge. Consumer needs are not the same globally. A customers in Germany might care about performance, while one in India might care more about affordability. So, even if a company wants to sell the same products worldwide, it can't always do that because cultural differences influence preferences, and government standards or trade barriers affect what can be sold. So, the main takeaway, Levitt's dream of a totally globalized, standardized market sounds great in theory, but in reality, we're not fully there yet. Yes, technology has made the world smaller, and there's definitely a growing global culture, especially among the youth. But at the same time, cultural diversity still shapes consumers' behavior. That's why international business must find the balance between standardizations that keeping products globally consistent and localizations that adapting to cultural and economic differences. So, because in global marketing, one size doesn't always fit all. So that's the essence of the globalization of markets and brands. It's about understanding that uh, while the world is getting more connected, people still value their unique identities. And for business to succeed globally, they have to understand it's not just about selling product, but it's about connecting with people. Thank you.
Cultural differences. Countries vary in their social structure, language, religion, education, and traditions. These differences are very important in marketing because a product that sells well in one country might fail in another. For example, in Islamic countries, liquor is forbidden by religion. As a result, liquor products won't be profitable, and in many cases, they are not even allowed. For economic development, the level of a country's economic development strongly influences consumer behavior and product design. Companies need to adjust their products based on the country's wealth and what consumers prioritize. For example, in richer countries, consumers often expect more features and higher performance in products, while in less developed countries, consumers usually prefer basic, reliable products since purchases can take up a significant portion of their income. And as for product and technical standards, even though consumer tastes are becoming more similar globally, differences in product and technical standards can limit full market standardization. Different countries have their own rules regarding product safety, quality, and technology. These regulations can make it impossible to mass produce a single standardized product for the entire global market.
Distribution strategy. The four main differences between countries' distribution system: retail concentration, channel length, channel exclusivity, and channel quality. So basically, when companies plan their distribution strategy, they check four main things: retail concentration, channel length, channel exclusivity, and channel quality. If there are only a few big stores, so there will be a shortage or short yung channel kasi diretso sa kanila direct. Pero kung madami namang mga small shops, mas mahaba kasi dadaan pa to sa wholesalers. Minsan, merong pumasok sa market kung exclusive yung retailers. Pero, pwede ka magipag-partner sa locals at syempre, mas madali ibenta yung magandang quality ng channel. In short, kailangan i-balance lahat para effective yung strategy. Retail concentration. In some countries, the retail system is very concentrated, but it is fragmented in others. So, I will explain it sa next two slides. Concentrated retail system is when few big stores or malls control their market. So like karamihan sa mga tao is bumibili sila sa mga malalaking supermarkets or shopping centers. Example sa US, people usually drive to big malls to shop. Kaya konti lang yung companies. So they can serve a lot of customers easily and efficiently. Fragmented retail system is when sobrang daming small shops and walang isang malaking company na nagko-control ng market. Like for example, sa Japan, halos bawat neighborhood ay may mga maliit na tindahan na super convenient stores kasi naglalakad lang ang mga tao. Unlike sa mga concentrated system, dito mas kalat yung sellers kaya mas personal at community-based yung shopping nila. Plus, sa ibang countries, may mga laws pa talaga na nagpro-protect sa mga small businesses para hindi sila matabunan ng mga big stores. Kaya mas mahirap para sa mga malaking companies pumasok at i-take over yung market. Sa channel length naman. Channel length basically means kung ilang steps dadaan ng product bago makarating sa customer. Kapag direct from producer to buyer, short channel tawag doon. Pero kapag dumaan na like sa agents, wholesalers, retailers, ang tawag naman is long channel naman. Sa mga countries na madaming small stores, mas practical gumamit ng longer channels kasi sobrang mahal at matrabaho kung isa-isa mong bebentahan lahat ng mawaliit na tindahan. Kaya usually, companies sell to wholesalers na lang. Tapos sila lang mag-distribute sa madaming shops. Example, sa rural India and China, mas madali for toothpaste brand to sell sa ilang wholesalers kaysa sa milyong-milyong small stores. Mas tipid, mas mabilis, and mas organized yung process. Channel exclusivity. Channel exclusivity, mahirap pasukin ng bagong companies yung distribution system. Like for example, ang hirap kumuha ng shelf space sa supermarkets kasi mas gusto ng stores yung well-known brands. Sa ibang countries like Japan, super strict dito. Yung manufacturers, wholesalers, at retailers, may matagal ng business relationships kaya solid na yung tiwala nila sa isa't isa. Minsan, distributors pa nga nag-agree na huwag magbenta ng competitive brands kapalit ng magandang kita. Dahil sa ganitong setup, sobrang hirap makapasok ng mga new or foreign companies sa market. Channel quality. Ang channel quality means kung gaano kagaling at ka-capable yung retailers sa isang bansa pagdating sa pagbebenta at pag-support ng products. Sa developed countries, usually magaling yung retailers, marunong sila magbenta at magbigay ng good customer service. Pero sa ibang developing countries like some parts of Russia or Indonesia, minsan mababa or inconsistent yung quality. Kapag low channel quality, hirap magbenta, lalo na kung bago or complicated yung product kasi kailangan pa ng extra expectation at service. Kaya minsan companies kailangan mag-train ng retailers or gumawa ng sarili nilang stores.
A communication strategy outlines how a company conveys message to each target audience, especially in international markets. It ensures that the message is clear, culturally appropriate, and aligned with business goals. Barriers to international communication. These are challenges that make it difficult for companies to communicate effectively across countries. Cultural barriers, differences in language, values, belief, and social norms can cause misunderstanding or misinterpretation of messages. Source and country of origin effects. People perception of a product or message may change depending on where it comes from. For example, made in Japan versus made in China. Next is noise levels. Any interference or distraction that prevents the audience from understanding the message clearly. For example, poor translation, competing messages, or technical issues. Now, let's proceed to the push versus pull strategies. Push strategy, the company pushes the product through distribution channels to the retailers and customer using personal selling or trade promotions. While the pull strategy, the company creates consumer demand through advertising and marketing, pulling customers towards the products. Next, the product type and consumer sophistication. The kind of product and the knowledge level of consumers affect which strategy work best. Complex product or sophisticated consumers often need more detailed communication, while simple products may use mass marketing. Media availability refers to the accessibility and popularity of media platforms. For example, TV, radio, internet, and social media in a particular country, which influences how a company promotes its product. Next is the push-pull mix. When we say push-pull mix, is a combination of both push and pull strategies. Companies push product to stores while also creating a strong consumer demand through advertising. Lastly is the global advertising, promoting a product or brand with a consistent message worldwide, while adapting it slightly to fit local cultures and preferences.
Configuring the market mix. Configuring the market mix. Ina-adjust ng company yung product, price, promotion, and distribution para mag-fit sa market ng bawat bansa. Kasi iba-iba ang culture, economy, competition, laws, and at distribution system. Kaya hindi pwedeng same strategy sa buong mundo. Example, dati sa Levi's, gumamit ng one global strategy. Pero now, ina-adjust nila per country. Even American Express, kahit same product globally, kailangan pa rin i-adjust yung communication strategy dahil sa different regulations. Kaya super important mag-adapt sa local market para maging successful. New product development. Today, technological innovation is super important sa competition kasi sobrang bilis ng tech development. Dahil dito, product life cycles mas umiiksi. Meaning, mas bumibilis ang pagiging luma ng products or mas mabilis ma-depreciate yung product. Isang bagong invention lang, tapos obsolete na yung agad yung old tech. Example, dati vacuum tubes yung gamit sa radios at early computers. Pero nung na-invent yung transistors, na-replace nila at nabigyan daan sa mas maliit at advanced na devices. This shows that innovation can both replace old tech and create new opportunities.
Price discrimination happens kapag ang isang produkto ay binibenta sa magkakaibang presyo sa iba't ibang bansa. For example, a cellphone na 20,000 sa Pilipinas ay pwedeng mas mahal sa Japan o mas mura sa India. Ginagawa ito ng companies dahil iba-iba ang purchasing power at market condition sa bawat lugar. Kung mas mahirap ang market, binababaan nila ang price para maging affordable. Kung mas mayaman ang market, kaya nilang itaas ang presyo. Para maging effective ang price discrimination, kailangan alam ng mga company ang price elasticity of demand. Ito ay sukat kung gaano kasensitive ang mga tao sa pagbabago ng presyo. Kung konting increase lang sa price pero bumababa agad ang demand, elastic. Pero kung kahit tumaas ang presyo at steady pa rin ang demand, inelastic. For example, toothpaste, inelastic. Kahit magtaas ng konti, bibilhin pa rin ng mga tao. Pero soft drinks, elastic siya. Pag mahal, lilipat ng mga tao sa ibang brand. Kaya dapat alam ng mga company kung gaano kalaki ang tolerance ng market sa price changes. Now let's move to strategic pricing. This concept has three key aspects: predatory pricing, multi-point pricing, and experience curve pricing. So, predatory pricing happens when a company sets its prices very low to drive out competitors from the market. When competitors are weakened or eliminated, the firm can raise its prices again. Usually, companies doing this can afford short-term losses because they have profits from other markets to support their aggressive pricing strategy. Next is multi-point pricing. This occurs when two or more global companies compete with each other in multiple countries. A good example of this is the rivalry between Kodak and Fujifilm. These two companies competed in many markets worldwide for photographic film products, and their pricing strategies in one country often affected their decision in another. The third type is experience curve pricing. Here, companies lower their unit costs as production increases, thanks to learning effects and economies of scale. By using aggressive pricing, promotion, and advertising, a firm can increase its sales volume quickly, move down the experience curve, and eventually gain a cost advantage over its competitors. Next is regulatory influence on prices. However, even with these strategies, companies can always price product fairly. Their ability to use price discrimination or strategic pricing is often limited by national and international regulation. Two key factors here are anti-dumping regulations and competition policy. So, anti-dumping regulations prevent companies from selling product below production costs, which is considered unfair competition. This means strategies like predatory pricing or expense curve pricing can sometimes violate these laws if prices go too low. Although the definition of dumping can be fudged, it's an important legal concern for global firms. Next is competition policy. Most developed countries have laws that promote fair competition and prevent monopoly practices. These laws can limit how high or low a firm can set its prices within a country, ensuring that consumers are protected and markets remain fair. So next is cross-functional teams. To successfully implement pricing and product strategies, companies often use cross-functional teams. These teams include representatives from research and development, marketing, and production who work together to develop and commercialize new products effectively. Building global research and development capabilities. So here, international business integrating research and development and marketing is crucial to adapt new technologies for different markets. This often means creating different versions of product to meet the unique needs and preferences of each country.